All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I am Meenakshi Sant. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch several developmental projects including expansion of modern rail coach factory at Rae Bareli in Uttar Pradesh today. Railway Minister Piyush Goyal dedicates first railway university to the nation in Vadodara. Nation celebrates Vijay Diwas today to mark India's victory over Pakistan in 1971 war. Ranil Wickremsinghe to be sworn in as Prime Minister of Sri Lanka today after resignation of Mahinda Rajapaksa. UN Climate Conference in Poland finalises rules to implement landmark 2015 Climate Conference Treaty. In BWF World Tour Women's badminton singles final, PV Sindhu to face Nozomi Okuhara at Guangzhou in China. And in Men's Hockey World Cup, Belgium to take on Netherlands in summit clash in Bhubaneswar this evening. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will launch several development projects, including expansion of the modern rail coach factory at Rae Bareli in Uttar Pradesh today. Mr. Modi will also flag off the 900th coach and rake of the Humsafar train produced in Rae Bareli this morning. The Prime Minister will also dedicate a 133-kilometre-long Rae Bareli-Fatehpur Banda road constructed at the cost of 558 crore rupees. Mr. Modi will then proceed to Prayagraj, where he will inaugurate a state-of-the-art command and control centre for the Kumbh Mela. He will perform Ganga Pujan and also visit the Swachh Kumbh exhibition. Mr. Modi is slated to visit Ahmedabad later, where he will address a public meeting. He will also inaugurate the new terminal building of the Bamroli Airport in Prayagraj. Our correspondent has filed this report.
At Prayagraj, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will dedicate projects of several pilgrim-related amenities and a state-of-the-art integrated control and command center for Kumbh Mela. This center is entrusted with crowd control and management during Kumbh Mela, the world's largest human congregation. Prime Minister will also inaugurate projects of worth rupees 147 crore of sewage treatment plant maintenance and their networking at Prayagraj under Namami Gange project. Dharmendra Kumar Rai, AIR News, Prayagraj.
Railway Minister Piyush Goyal dedicated India's first railway university to the nation in Vadodara yesterday. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Goyal said that this is a big step towards the professional education and training in the railway sector. Our correspondent reports that the Ministry of Railways has sanctioned 421 crore rupees for this university and its curriculum development for the next 5 years.
A pet project of Prime Minister Narendra Modi has already started functioning temporarily from the National Academy of Indian Railway from last 5th September. The first batch of 103 students from 20 states of the country getting enrolled in 2 fully residential undergraduate courses. At present, the university is functioning from its temporary campus at Pratap Vilas Palace of the erstwhile Gaikwad State in Vadodara. Indian Railway has received 100 acres land from Gujarat government to set up a full-fledged green campus of the Railway University. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
Union Ministers Shripad Yeso Nayak and Jitendra Singh laid the foundation stone of the Institute of High Altitude Medicinal Plants at Bhadarwa in Doda district of Jammu and Kashmir yesterday. The prestigious institute, to be established at a cost of 100 crore rupees, will act as a pioneering centre for research on medicinal plants and also help the farmers in cultivation of medicinal plants in scientific ways. Niti Aayog will hold the 3rd edition of the Women Transforming India Awards 2018 today. The event will also mark the launching of the upgraded portal of the Women Entrepreneurship Platform WEP. An official release said Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu, as the chief guest, will give away the awards and launch the WEP upgraded portal. The Women Transforming India Awards recognize and celebrate stories of exemplary women across the country. This year, 15 winners have been chosen. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has said that libraries should be established widely so as to give a push to the reading habit among people. Mr. Naidu, who inaugurated the Hyderabad Book Fair at NTR Stadium in Hyderabad yesterday, said publications and the newspaper sector should try to gain new readers at a time when the reading habit is declining due to the spread of internet and television. Mr. Naidu said the establishment of a library in every village and a toilet in every home should become a slogan. The nation celebrates Vijay Diwas today to commemorate India's victory over Pakistan in the 1971 war. Rich tributes are being paid to the martyrs who laid down their lives during the war. Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, along with 3 service chiefs, will pay tributes to the martyrs at Amar Jawan Jyoti. Here's a report from our correspondent.
On this day in 1971, the chief of the Pakistani forces, General Amir Abdullah Khan Niazi, along with 93,000 troops, had surrendered unconditionally to the allied forces consisting of Indian Army and Mukti Bahini, led by Lieutenant General Jagjit Singh Arora in Dhaka after their defeat in the Liberation War. The end of the war also resulted in subsequent secession of East Pakistan into Bangladesh. Special programs are also being organized at the headquarters of the Eastern Command at Fort William in Kolkata to celebrate the day. Led by parliamentarian Miss Qazi Rozi, a 72-member delegation of war veterans and Mukti Jodhas from the neighbouring country are taking part in the Vijay Diwas celebrations. Anupam Mishra, AR News, Delhi.
On the occasion of Vijay Diwas, Sports Minister Colonel Rajyavardhan Rathore flagged off a special marathon, Soldier-a-thon, at Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium in New Delhi this morning. The marathon was organized in honor of the martyrs and wounded soldiers. Wrestler Yogeshwar Dutt and former cricketer Gautam Gambhir were also present on the occasion. With over 12,000 participants, the marathon was held in 5 categories. The proceeds from the event will be donated to Indian Army's Artificial Limb Center for Wounded Soldiers to help them acquire state-of-the-art prosthesis at the Paraplegic Rehabilitation Center. President Ramnath Kovind said on Vijay Diwas, the nation remembers with gratitude the armed forces who defended the nation and upheld universal values of human liberty in 1971. In a tweet, he said in particular, the nation pays tribute to those who lost their lives in that valiant effort. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. You can also log on to our website, newsonair.nic.in. In Sri Lanka, Mr. Ranil Wickremsinghe will be sworn in as the Prime Minister today after Mahinda Rajapaksa resigned yesterday from the post. Mr. Wickremsinghe will make a comeback after weeks of political drama which began with his removal as Prime Minister and appointment of Mr. Rajapaksa on October the 26th. Our correspondent reports that a 30-member cabinet is also expected to be sworn in by tomorrow.
This will be the 5th time Ranil Wickremsinghe will be sworn in as Prime Minister, which is a record in Sri Lanka. The irony is that he has never been able to function for a full term and was removed last by President Sirisena on October 26. However, the culmination of weeks-long crisis has come as a major political victory for Mr. Wickremsinghe, who emerged winner among the 3 key players. Mr. Rajapaksa had to resign as Prime Minister yesterday, while President Sirisena is under criticism for his actions. It has to be now seen how Mr. Sirisena and Ms. Wickremsinghe developed a working chemistry for a smooth functioning of government. Santosh Kumar for AIR News from Colombo.
Maldives President Ibrahim Mohammed Solih will arrive in New Delhi today on a 3-day visit to India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will meet President Solih tomorrow and hold delegation-level talks. The two leaders are expected to discuss in the entire gamut of bilateral relations. After the talks, agreements are expected to be inked between the two countries. Maldivian President's visit comes nearly a month after Mr. Modi attended Mr. Solih's swearing-in ceremony in Mali. We have a report.
India is a leading development partner of Maldives and has established many of the leading institutions in the island nation. Capacity building and skills development is one of the key components of India's assistance to Maldives. Both countries signed a trade agreement in 1981 which provides for export of essential commodities. Growing from modest beginnings, India-Maldives bilateral trade now stands at 700 crore rupees. Indians are the second largest expatriate community in the Maldives with approximate strength of around 22,000. With Sheila, Suparna Sekya, AIR News, Delhi.
The cyclonic storm, Petai, over southwest Bay of Bengal, moved further north-northwestwards. It is located 510 kilometers southeast of Chennai and 670 kilometers south-southeast of Machilipatnam in Andhra Pradesh. It is very likely to intensify further into a severe cyclonic storm during the next 24 hours. It is very likely to move north-northwestwards and cross Andhra Pradesh coast between Machilipattanam and Kakinada tomorrow afternoon. Talking to AIR, Duty Officer Cyclone Warning Centre Visakhapatnam, KVS Srinivasan said that an advisory has been issued to suspend fishing operations along the Andhra Pradesh coast today and tomorrow.
Under the influence, heavy rainfall is likely to experience our central coastal districts of Andhra Pradesh at one or two places on 16th December, and it will be heavy to very heavy falls at few places for coastal Andhra Pradesh on 17th December. And also we are predicting extremely heavy falls at isolated places or north coastal Andhra Pradesh on 17th December.
After 2 weeks of intense negotiations, ministers of 200 nations finally reached consensus on rules to implement the 2015 Paris Climate Agreement. The Paris Accord aims to limit rise in global atmospheric temperature to well below 2 degrees Celsius from pre-industrial revolution levels. Here's a report.
UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres hailed the development. The concerns of developing nations, including India, and the least developed nations on funding for carbon credit was finally addressed. The affluent nations, which are the main polluters, agreed to pay for greening the underdeveloped world. UN Secretary-General, however, qualified his praise for the negotiating nations, saying, "The approval of the Paris Agreement work program is the basis for a transformative process, as this will require strengthened ambition from international community." Dilip Ghosh for AIR News.
Indian badminton star PV Sindhu will clash with Nozomi Okuhara of Japan for the women's singles title of BWF World Tour Finals at Guangzhou in China this morning. Sindhu reached her second consecutive final of the tournament with a scintillating victory over Thailand's Ratchanok Itnanon yesterday. Belgium will meet Netherlands in the summit clash of the Men's Hockey World Cup 2018 at Bhubaneswar today. The match will begin at 7 in the evening. All India Radio will broadcast a live commentary on the match from 6:55 p.m. on Rajdhani, FM Rainbow and additional frequencies. Besides the summit clash, a match to determine the third and fourth place will be played today between England and Australia at 4:30 p.m. And now for an overview of today's newspapers, it's over to Abhishek Kumar.
Thank you, Meenakshi. Hectic parleys are still continuing at the Congress headquarters as the name of the Chhattisgarh CM is yet to be announced. The Sunday Times reports, Congress to name Chhattisgarh CM today. The Sunday Tribune informs, Chhattisgarh CM far from done deal. While the DNA notes, Baghel leading the race to be CM of Chhattisgarh. The central government seeking correction in the Supreme Court's Rafale verdict has also received prominent attention of newspapers. The Indian Express says, no CAG, no PAC. Government asks Supreme Court to correct, gives it a grammar guide. The Sunday Pioneer adds, government moves Supreme Court to undo PAC error in Rafale judgment. Kharge urges panel members to summon AG, CAG for explanation. The Sunday Financial Express reports, government to focus on cut in debt ratio. Garg. Quoting the Economic Affairs Secretary Subhas Garg, the paper informs that the government focus would be to trim the elevated public debt to GDP ratio in the next 4 to 5 years to keep macroeconomic stability intact. The Hindu informs that the National Green Tribunal has set aside the Tamil Nadu government's order for the closure of Sterlite's copper smelter in Thoothukudi, terming the decision unjustifiable. And finally, the Times of India reports, consumers fearful for today, cheerful about future, citing the latest Reserve Bank of India Consumer Confidence Survey. And with that, it's back to you, Meenakshi.
Thank you, Abhishek. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch several developmental projects, including expansion of modern rail coach factory at Rae Bareli in Uttar Pradesh today. Railway Minister Piyush Goyal dedicates first railway university to the nation in Vadodara. Nation celebrates Vijay Diwas today to mark India's victory over Pakistan in 1971 war. UN Climate Conference in Poland finalizes rules to implement landmark 2015 Paris Climate Treaty. In BWF World Tour Women's Badminton Singles Final, PV Sindhu to face Nozomi Okuhara at Guangzhou in China. And in Men's Hockey World Cup, Belgium to take on Netherlands in summit clash in Bhubaneswar this evening. With that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.